December 13th, 2003. Ad-Dor, a dusty farming village near Tikrit. Night had already swallowed the land, and with it, the last illusion that the war in Iraq was anywhere close to being simple. On paper, the invasion was over. Baghdad had fallen months ago. Statues had been pulled down. Headlines declared victory. But the most important symbol of the old regime was still missing. Saddam Hussein, once one of the most powerful and feared men on earth, had vanished without a trace. For 9 months he was a ghost. The world was told a simple story later, that American soldiers found Saddam hiding in a spider hole, pulled him out, examined him, and that was the end. A dictator reduced to a bearded man in a hole. Case closed. Justice served. But that version of events is only the surface.
We got him.
The real story of how America found Saddam is darker, slower, more calculated, and far more unsettling than the official narrative ever admitted. When the US invaded Iraq in March 2003, the assumption was that Saddam would either flee, surrender, or be killed quickly. Intelligence agencies believed his inner circle would collapse under pressure. None of that happened.
My fellow citizens, at this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger.
Instead, Saddam disappeared into a vast underground network of tribal loyalties, safe houses, body doubles, couriers, and silence. This was not a man running randomly.
That Saddam Hussein now has weapons of mass destruction.
This was a system built over decades. Saddam did not trust technology. He avoided phones. He avoided radios. He avoided predictable movement. Orders were passed face to face, through family members and loyalists who would rather die than betray him. This made him almost invisible to modern surveillance. Satellites could watch roads. Drones could scan rooftops. But they could not see loyalty. For months, American forces searched blindly. Raids were conducted. Houses were stormed. Entire villages were locked down. Hundreds of people were detained, not because they were proven guilty, but because they might know something. The US military slowly realized a brutal truth. You cannot find a man like Saddam by chasing him directly. You have to collapse the world around him. That's when the strategy changed. Instead of hunting Saddam, they hunted everyone else. The Pentagon launched a massive intelligence campaign targeting Saddam's inner circle. His bodyguards, drivers, cooks, messengers, distant cousins, tribal leaders. Each capture was not an endpoint, but a data point. Interrogations followed a pattern. Not one big question, but thousands of small ones. Who visited whom? Who brought food? Who stopped showing up at work? Who suddenly had more money? Patterns began to form. This approach was cold, methodical, and relentless. One by one, the deck of cards fell. Saddam's regime members had been famously printed on playing cards issued to US troops, the ace of spades being Saddam himself. As the months passed, most of those cards were captured or killed. Each arrest tightened the net. Each confession, whether given willingly or under pressure, shrank Saddam's world. But even then, Saddam remained careful. Contrary to the image later shown to the public, Saddam was not living alone like an animal. He was protected, moved frequently, hidden by tribes that still saw him not just as a dictator, but as a symbol of Sunni power and Iraqi nationalism. In their eyes, helping Saddam was not just loyalty, it was resistance. The turning point did not come from high-tech surveillance or elite commandos. It came from human weakness. In late 2003, US intelligence captured 2 men deeply connected to Saddam's survival network, individuals who knew where food was coming from, where messages were being delivered, and where the money flowed. Under interrogation, the picture finally sharpened. The search narrowed to a small area near Ad-Dor, a region of palm groves, farms, and irrigation ditches. A perfect hiding place. Too ordinary to stand out. Operation Red Dawn was launched. On the night of December 13th, US forces moved quietly. No dramatic firefights. No massive explosions. Just soldiers moving house to house, guided by intelligence gathered over months of psychological pressure. 2 sites were targeted, named Wolverine 1 and Wolverine 2. At first, nothing seemed unusual. Then someone noticed disturbed earth near a farmhouse. A concealed entrance. A narrow shaft. When Saddam was pulled from that hole, the cameras captured a defeated image, a man with matted hair, disoriented eyes, dirt on his face. That image was broadcast worldwide. It was powerful. It was symbolic. And it was carefully framed. What the cameras did not show was the months of psychological warfare, the broken networks, the betrayals, the quiet deals, and the human cost paid by countless Iraqis caught in the search. It did not show the fear that still surrounded Saddam's name, even in hiding. It did not show that, until the very end, he believed he could return. Saddam reportedly carried cash, weapons, and handwritten notes. He was not surrendering to history. He was waiting for it to turn. His capture was celebrated in the United States as closure. Proof that the mission was right. That justice had been delivered. But inside Iraq, the reaction was far more complicated. For some, it was relief. For others, humiliation. For many, it changed nothing. The violence did not stop. In fact, it intensified. The power vacuum Saddam left behind exploded into sectarian conflict, insurgency, and chaos that would define Iraq for years. The man was gone, but the system he built collapsed violently. The story of how America found Saddam is not just about tracking one individual. It is a lesson in modern warfare. It shows that wars are not won when capitals fall or leaders disappear. They are won, or lost, in the minds of people, in tribal loyalties, in social structures that no drone can map. Saddam Hussein ruled through fear, but he survived through relationships. He was found not because technology became smarter, but because humans broke. Someone talked. Someone slipped. Someone chose survival over loyalty. And that is the ultimate reality behind December 13th, 2003. A dictator was pulled from a hole, but the real story happened long before that moment, quietly, brutally, in interrogation rooms and villages that history rarely names. The image of Saddam's capture became a symbol of victory, but the truth behind it revealed something far more disturbing. Removing a man is easy. Understanding the world that created him is not.